Hello, everybody. François Van Can on the line. How are you? And phenomenal 42 people on this call. Amazing, amazing. You, UK and Swedish people are absolutely amazing. Fantastic. Well, and I see plenty of new names like Ronnie McLennan, like Dennis, Dorothy Langley, Gary Stratford, Jeraine Chamberlain, Miss Halina Zislewska. Well, hello. So again, my request to you is if you are a registered Flexcom partner, would you please be kind enough to register, when you register on this call, to not only put on your name, but also your ID number. So for me, it's much more easier to distinguish then who is a guest and who is an active Flexcom partner. So thank you so much for the next sessions, when we have these sessions, to record your ID number. I would really appreciate that. Thank you very much. So, amazing, fantastic. So this call is recorded. I have to go fast because I need to stop everything at 5 to, what time is it for you? Time to 19, 5 to 7 in the evening, because I start another call with the Dutch people on at 2100 exactly Belgian time. So first thing that you need to go to do or to know, sorry, I come back from Munich. We have had a 2 days phenomenal session, and there are a number of new things that I want to broach very fast. For some others, I will go some in depth. The first thing that you need to know is that the migration will not be in October as announced. It will be 1 month later, and that has to do with building the foundations. Indeed, you know what IT is. When IT says we will be ready at that date, you can easily count 1 month more. Here it is the case, but it is very important. They were ready. It is Mr. Senjis Elis, the president and founder of the company himself, who decided to retard the migration by 1 month, because he wants to be absolutely sure that the foundations of this new system are so well built that for the next 10 years he's absolutely certain not to have any mistakes or any additional and useless costs to bear, and we understand him perfectly, because you will remind that this system has to be able to support an enormous amount of information, as well from the shop owners as from the customers, and at the same time manage 1 billion simultaneous transactions, which is again a phenomenal feat. So nobody was very angry about that. So the migration, now it is absolutely official, will be the 21st and the 22nd of November 2016, which means that these 2 days, please do not register any new member or new We partner that is a merchant, because the application will probably suffer some downsizes at that moment. But then you will have an application, and the features of these applications are tremendous. You'll see immediately. Okay, the idea is still to have one card, one app for the whole world. And as you see on this screen, for example, where you will see that the card, the logo of the cards will appear on the application each time that a customer does a purchase wherever in the world. When he pays, he sees the logo of his sponsor. So that means that as a publicity tool, it will be absolutely amazing. The features of the new application When you will see them, you will be absolutely thrilled, I can promise you. Amazing. This application can be also sold to hotels, companies, associations. That means that here, if you want to sell uh, things to hotels, companies, and associations, you will have to be an how do you call that? An CCC. Uh, um, oh, my English is so terrible. How do you say that? An accepted CCC consultant at the minimum. And that means that you will have to follow a training in a application which is called WeForce. Maybe some of you know Salesforce, but so We has bought from Salesforce an application, not an application, a software that will allow us to do customer relationship management. It's a very well thought of system. It runs perfectly also. And so you will have to be trained in Salesforce or WeForce, plus have another training, which is the CCC training. I'll come to that at the end of my presentation today. We will have also vouchers. That means that the customer not only now will have two, but three ways of using the money on his telephone before the telephone becomes a payment, a mobile payment system. Since now the telephone is a cashback system, and today the customer can do two things with his cashback. He can use it to pay for a purchase in another shop, or he can put the money on his bank account. Well, in 2017, he will also be able to have vouchers from larger companies which work with us on the internet, like, for example, Amazon, Saturn, Aral, IKEA, Zalando, Galleria, and so on and so on. And he will be able to choose vouchers. So that means that he will be able to buy, between brackets, for free in these with these internet huge shops, so or even physical shops, so that he can use his cashback in another way. So, for example, they can choose a voucher with with companies for 10 euros, 15 euros, and so on and so on. That will be one of the new features of the application. Another thing that will be launched in spring 2017 is the WeJetons, which will be very much used in, for example, ice cream parlors or restaurants or concerts, cinemas, movies, and so on and so on, because we need to go very fast. There have been some tests done with the WeTons, which are absolutely conclusive. And so that means that the WeTons will be launched very early in 2017, and that will increase our business. You wouldn't even believe how much. For example, here with the brewery, 10 million WeTons in beer bottles, and that single QR code will create customers, will create turnover of phenomenal proportions. The WeTons is one of the most extraordinary features of our company, and that alone will probably break every competitor in the world, because it is so fantastic. You wouldn't believe it. Not only shop owners like them, but the producers, the companies that sell to the shops are also incredibly interested in this system. Why? Because, for example, let's say you are a cookie producer, you produce cookies, you sell these cookies to shops, and the shops sell these cookies in turns to the final customers. So that means that the cookie producer doesn't know his end users. He knows his first customers, that is the shops, but not the end users. Here, when an end user will scan this QR code, immediately the details of this customer will go to the producer, who can then make a much better marketing since he knows the identity and the data of the customers that buy the cookies. So you can imagine that producers are extremely interested in the wheatons, but this will come only after a period of time, because we do not want to give the producers too much leeway. We need to give the small store owner the possibility to register customers and win then huge commissions on what the producers are going to do with their QR codes. So again, an enormous and fantastic product, the Wheatons. Also in 2017, you will have the APIs, cashier's machine interfaces, which will allow stores with multiple cashiers, like big stores or pharmacies or whatever, to not to have the obligation to buy the WePOS terminal. They will have a special software that will allow them to use our system within their system. Okay. Oh, thank you, Dorothy, to put your ID number here in the chat. But next time, please, when you register, you don't put that in the chat. You put your number behind your name once you register for the webinar. Thank you very much. So let's go faster. Yes, again, digitalization of retail commerce will will happen in the early 2017. That is confirmed. We jobbers, we will create about 10 million jobs thanks to the digitalization of the companies. That means that we will become a huge provider of jobs, and even well-paid jobs, because a we jobber can earn easily between 700 and 900 euros, not gross, but net income. So that means about 1,500 euros per month, simply by helping us digitalizing shops. The research, the search engine for retail commerce will also come normally February, March 2017. So everything that has been promised right now is made already, is running at the IT level. What they have designed us is an iceberg. The visible part of the iceberg is 15% of the mass of the iceberg, you know that. Well, they have already built about 80 to 82% of the invisible mass. So they are now testing and running the test. Everything is going to plan. So it was really important for the company to be certain that all these huge blocks that will come in spring 2017 are built on a base of programming that is solid. So this is why they preferred to be ultra secure and take 1 month more until the migration. But I promise you, you'll see the We 2.0 app coming live at, or usable anyway, at the 23rd of November. And then every 15 days, we will have upgrades and upgrades and upgrades, 6 months long. Can you imagine that? You won't even believe what phenomenal product the We 2.0 is providing us. It's absolutely amazing. WeBring will also be brought to life with a promise that is, you, Mr. Customer, are delivered within 90 minutes, or if 90 minutes is too fast, well, as you wish for. So we will respect the deadlines given by the customers. 90 minutes is a world record. Nobody now, even not pizza deliveries, deliver in 90 minutes, promised in the 90 minutes, okay? So the products find the customers, that you know. And then the last thing is mobile payment. Yes, we are going to mobile payment by in the first half of 2017, probably mid-spring, that means May or June 2017. We are going to introduce the first mobile payment system, universal mobile payment system, That means that the telephone, thanks to We 2.0, will be able to connect itself to your bank account, and you will have a mobile payment system valid everywhere in every shop of the world. The marketing specialist, Dr. Beer, Christian Beer, told us about the marketing and what they are going to give us. I can assure you it was a standing ovation in Munich when we heard that. Fantastic news. Okay, so it's really, really interesting what will happen. I can't tell you much more because they give us the information when needed. That is about 1 month to 1.5 months before actually the features are revealed and released. So we know that this is coming, but we don't know all the details, and please do not ask us for the details. It's not important right now. Okay. What are the advantages for the merchants? Well, first of all, that you have an increased customer fidelity or customer loyalty with WeCard and or WeApp, because each time the customer will buy something, this logo of the merchant, that the logo of the merchant that gave him the application in the first place will be visible, so that this is a reminder to go and shop back at that shop. The shop owner will have a literally his own marketing system by which he can, for example, produce or create 2 different advertising messages, for example. He can test these messages for a number of days. He chooses one. He can test it on which kind of or public, women, men, young people, or geographically or whatever, and he will know exactly how many people look at it, how many people buy thanks to it. So he can really now manage his publicity and his advertising himself. That is one of the most extraordinary features that the application will give the merchant. That's fantastic, really. So that means additional advertising possibilities, also a navigation system and all information about his shop, obviously. And then again, the commissions on turnover generated by his own customers when they buy at other shops or online, so that you know that is what we call the retro commission. So let's come now to the really, really interesting part of this presentation. That is what is coming in the next 2 to 3 months. Well, first of all, the advertising campaign. They have decided that since internet is such a huge possibility, and they didn't really realize how much internet was used, because they did some tests in Germany, and they ran one single spot on the internet for 1 day, and had over 12,780,000 visions, clicks on that application. So they tested it with another provider of internet advertising. They had over 6.5 million, depending on with whom they worked, but they could really reach about 30 million people in the matter of 1 week through the internet. So advertising is not only television. Advertising will also be huge on the internet, because one of the how do you call that, the public that we want to reach is the public that goes from 18, 22 till 40. That means more or less the Y generation, people who were born with a smartphone in their belly, and and who are always on the internet, and they underestimated the power of internet. So that means that one of the main features of the campaign is that we will be visible on the internet from December till I don't know when, because once something is on the internet, as long as you don't take it away, it stays on the internet. And so they will create an enormous internet campaign starting in December, and that will be more or less international. It will start in the German languages and then go very fast in other languages in other countries. On top of that, in December, for Switzerland, Germany, Slovenia, December, they will create 20,000 TV spots in the month of December, between the 18th of December and the 31st of December. That these spots will be the first. They will obviously calculate what the impact is of these spots, but the real, what they call Big Bang on TV, Big Bang, will be in March, April 2017, and will include, obviously, UK, Sweden, and other European countries, which is very, very important. So that means that the internet campaign will run non-stop between December 8, when you'll see it on the next slide. It will run between November, December, till probably June next year. Anyway, the internet specialists told us that they could reach easily over 500 million people in the world with their what they intend to do, and certainly over 220 million people in Europe, which is amazing. Okay, how will that run for October, November, December? Well, on 27th of October, the first Google messages appeared, but in the first 2 weeks of November, they will start an international campaign with public relations announcing the TV spots. So one of the ways to bring people to the TV is that they will announce on the internet the TV spots with small spots to interest people. The person will not really know exactly what we is, but that it will create a buzz. There is something coming, so that is what they try to do. And at the same time, they do a market study for the preparation of the TV spots production. In December, by 5 December, the TV spots will be ready, anyway, for the German markets. That's for sure. And on the 7th of December, they will be available for social media canals. That means that from 7 December on, we will work with these over the internet. And for 3 months, they will work with a company which is called Focus Online, that is an absolute specialist in advertising things over the internet. So the first international advertising will start by 9/12 on the internet, and by the 12th of the 18th of December on TV in the German speaking countries. Why is 18/12 such an interesting date? Well, it has a special meaning for we and Flexcom, because it is on that day, 18th of the 18th December, that you are all invited to Munich to receive your shares, because the give out of the shares will happen in the Bayerischen Hof, the most prestigious hotel of Munich, on the 18th of December, and not the 11th of December as previously stated. Now, the problem is with the share giving out is that there are only 1,200 places in the Bayerischen Hof. There are over 40,000 possible shareholders, so that means that there will be a choice made. You will receive a newsletter with the criteria of the people who are invited to Munich. Does that mean that if you do not come to Munich, you will not get the shares? Not at all, since, as you know, most of you know probably that paper shares are not used anymore. They are electronic property, how do you say that, certificates. So you will receive, obviously, your electronic property certificates of your shares by the 18th of December. Everybody will have the exact amount of shares that is due to this person. and the only thing that you have to know is that you will not be able to sell your shares before 18 months if you are a distributor, because the shares are without voting rights. So you have to sign a document that says I oblige I'm okay not to sell my shares before June June 2018. The first country that will start really with a TV campaign is Switzerland. Why? Because Switzerland is the country that has worked the best, that has sold and oversold its quota in MTM licenses, so it receives the privilege of starting with the TV campaign. What is an advantage for you? Well, it will be from very, very soon, it will be an advantage for you to recruit new team members or direct salespeople or merchants or customers, thanks to our different campaign in different countries and on the internet. And why is that? Because they are preparing a marketing map folder that you can use, and where you can see all the TV stations which already have a contract with Flexcom and We. You see the names over here. So for the UK, maybe it's less interesting, but still, this is interesting to show that the contracts with these television networks have been signed, and that the publicity will start on December 18 and run until April 2017. Okay, so especially for the Flexit countries, this paper is interesting, but I think also for the UK, since it is always important to show facts to merchant and investors, that is for me absolute fact. Okay, now you are shareholders, because everybody that is here in this room probably bought his licenses before October 31st. And as you know, when you had your license before October 31st, you had 32 shares included in your basic license and 120 shares included in your premium license. And for those who registered in September or even before, and that became sales director and or national director or even president team, well, you know that you would share in a pot of shares, that additional shares. So it is important that you understand that you are shareholders. That means you are co-owner of this company. And I suppose that if you are co-owner of this company, you would like the value of your shares to be as high as possible. Am I correct or am I not correct? I suppose that some of you will answer to me, yes, I'm correct. Okay, thank you, Ashley. So what is important? You know that the last 3 years, we did about more or less 25 million euros of turnover each year. So they aim at 50 million euros this year. We have reached already 35 million euros in turnover. So there is another 15 million euros to be created in these next 2 months. And everybody is obviously very interested in creating these 15 millions of turnover. Why? Because it has been proved that if we reach the goal of 50 million euros, the share value, the starting share value of the company will almost double. That means that instead of having a company that is worth around 1.2 billion, it could go to about 2 billion euros as a start value on the market. That means that your shares would be obviously worth some money, and it will increase and the speed at which the company will increase its value. Remember, in January 2017 or February 2017, we is starting to work with this voucher of 50 euros, Some of you know about that, maybe some of you don't. Please turn to the people that have received the information about the 50 euro voucher. And some of you also have received the information about the electricity and the free electricity system that is in combination with we. So that means that the increase in value of the company can go much faster than anticipated, and that is very, very good for you if ever you decide to sell your shares after 18 months. So we has created a special incentive to help you to reach this 15 million turnover mark in 2 months' time. And this is why they will again, Senjis Ellis decided to give out, I told you in former meetings that there was a reserve of shares that they could possibly put on the market. Well, we are going to go with that. So that means that now, listen well, you remember that when you bought a MTM license, that you received a share. So the shares were given to the buyers of the MTM licenses. Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, shares will not be attached, not anymore since November 1, to the MTM licenses, but the shares will be given to the people that sell the MTM licenses. So each time that you sell MTM licenses, you can get additional shares on top of what you have already. And that is the incentive that the company gives you to reach this 15 million turnover mark globally. Obviously, it's not the UK, it's all of Europe, but UK can and Sweden can play a very, very important role in that. So listen well. If you sell for 7,500 euros of licenses or WeCards or business cards or whatever product that we have, so I'll show you the products, between October 28, 2016 and December 31, 2016, you get an additional 200 shares. So it's, but you need to make the 7,500 in 30 days time. So let's say that you start selling one license at 1,240 euros tomorrow. Well, then you calculate 30 calendar days, and within these 30 calendar days, you have to make this 7,500 euros of turnover. But you can start these 30 days whenever you want to, within the period of 28th of October till December 31. Is my explanation understood or not? If anybody has whatsoever a hesitation, please ask a question on the chat right now. Okay? Very clear? Thank you. If you sell in the same period for 15,000 euros, you personally, it's personal sales. It's not group sales, okay? It's personal sales. That means that you sell frontline to frontline people. You sell for 15,000 euros of products. Well, you get 400 shares, but you need to make this 15,000 in 30 days, in 30 calendar days within the period. Do the new MTM holders get shares and passive income? No, the new MTM holders will not get shares, but they will get the passive income, since these are indeed MTM licenses, and that means that the MTM licenses give a passive income on the European consumption. The only thing that is an unknown factor is how long will we have MTM licenses available? Because if we sell all these MTM licenses, we reach the 50,000 mark before December 31. Obviously, the system will stop what concerning the licenses, but not the other products. And this here, this incentive stays until December 31. So normally we shall be able to provide MTM licenses to everybody. Maybe we will go to 50,500 licenses. I don't know. But as of now, the number sticks. It's 50,000 licenses that have to be sold. If you sell for 22,500, you get an additional 600 shares. And if you sell in 30 days, 30,000 euros, for 30,000 euros, you get 800 shares. Now, you remember, some of you, we spoke about Success Pack 10 and Success Pack 100. What is a Success Pack 10? That is 6 basic licenses. Now, 6 basic licenses give a total of 7,440 euros. That is not 7,500, okay? So, I'm sorry, it's 60 euros too little, but if you want to do something else, like 100 business cards or whatever it is, so that you reach this 7,500 mark. If you sell, for example, a Success Pack 100, that is 1 premium license with 5 basic license, you have a total of 8,590 euros. So if you sell 2 of them, you have already reached the 15,000 mark. If you sell 4 of them, you have already reached the 30,000 mark. That means that you have 800 shares coming to you on top of what you have right now, but you need to do that in 30 days time. So you see, I think it's a wonderful incentive. And if you go over 30,000 euros, you can reach, for example, 100,000 euros within 30 days. Well, then you have here not a number of shares, but you will be able to negotiate with the company how many shares you can have. That is amazing. Okay. So is that to one person or to multiple people? It is obviously to multiple people, Daniel. It has to do with turnover, not with number of people buying something. So if you buy, for example, you have merchants that buy WeCards, 500 WeCards or 1,500 WeCards, well, you will have the possibility to add that turnover to your 7,500 or 15,000, whatever turnover that you have. In the next session, next week, I will tell you the advantage that you will have in with selling WeCards once we are going to go to the shops. But right now, it's too early to go to the shops. We need to have people on the ground, and I will never lose my vision of the strategy. I have discussed it just before this call with Mirko. We discussed the strategy, and he's totally agreed with me. So this is why I do not give you an information about the WeCards, but I can tell you that if we reach already the 500 or 600 licenses sold in November, then we will go there. And not only that, but there is another incentive, which is a fantastic incentive. I haven't had the time to put that on a slide because I just received it from Mirko. So please excuse my presentation, but listen to this. If 600 licenses are sold in November in the UK, then we is ready to start the internet advertising campaign in December in English on all the with an internet specialist that will literally draw English people in internet publicity with we. So that is a fantastic other goal. So that's absolutely amazing. Thank you, Stuart, for saying that's fantastic. And you, as an internet specialist, you know what that means. So I think we have a real crusher here. Fantastic. Okay, right. Now, it's not enough. Let's calculate what 200 shares mean. Well, if the company is worth 2 billion euros, that means that your 200 shares are worth 10,000 euros for starting. 2 billion euros is what we aim at as a starting value for the company if we reach that 50 million goal. Why 50 million? Because the 50 million will be added to the company or the value of all the companies of We, plus the concept, plus the vouchers, plus the electricity, and so on. So the market, it will go crazy if we reach that 50 million mark. I told you the company has reached the last 3 years 25 million. If we can do double that value this year, the market will go absolutely mad. So 2 billion can be the starting value of the company, with 10,000 euros for you in worth of your 200 shares if you have 200 shares. Let's say that within 1 year, the company, or 2 years, the company is worth 30 billion. Well, these 200 shares will be worth 150,000 euros. If we have 60 billion value, which is what KPMG thinks that we are going to reach by mid to end 2018, your 200 shares will be worth 300,000 euros. So if you earn, and you can make, for example, you have already 200 shares and you sell for 30,000 euros of worth of turnover by end of December in 30 days, well, you can have then 1,000 shares, which would earn you a cool 1.5 million euros. I think it's worth to give everything we have so that we can help this company, our company. We are shareholders of this company. It's our company to reach with our company a starting value of 2 billion euros. So thank you very much for your help in that sense. And there is something else. Since the company is giving the incentive, well, there has been some interesting developments, and that is when people, you know that there is a test or an incentive with a travel to Dubai, and we have reached the 150 winners mark, which was the original aim of the company. So normally the Dubai thing was closed. We have our 150 winners. But then they started to talk with the organizer, that the person, the company that they appointed to organize this travel. And this guy said, well, you know, you have 150 people, that's right, that's nice, but do you think you could reach 300? And they asked, why? Well, he said, because if we have 300, I can, for 300 people, I can get special prices about half of what it would cost you with 150. That would mean that I can literally rent a full Airbus with 300 people. But on top of that, I can organize you a little travel in the desert, and Bahrain is not very far away, and I can organize for the 300 people to have a test drive with a Formula One racing car in Bahrain. Would that interest people, do you think? And so they said, why not? So this is why they extend the Dubai incentive, and the 300 first team members that reach 30,000 euros in sales in 30 days time, well, they will be invited to the Dubai incentive travel. And the competition period is between 28th of October and December 31, 2016. So what does that mean? Nah, Stuart, is that oh shit, this is really idiotic, or is that wow? I don't know. Okay, okay. Karen, can we give away? Well, okay, thank you. Karen, can we give away a share from our own stock while working to reach the goal? Karen, you will be able to give away the share from your own stocks once you are able to sell them or to give them away. That is after June 2018, you do with your shares exactly what you want. So what you can do right now, since we are not allowed to sell or to give out our stocks right now, what I will do, because I promised stocks from my part to some people here in this room, and I will keep my promise, obviously, I will give them a contract that says that even if I die, they can go and get their shares with my notary from June 2018 on. Okay, so I think this is really amazing what you can do. Now, what are the goals that I see for the UK? I'll talk of Sweden afterwards. For me, you remember the overall goal was to get 3,200 active team members by or before January 2017. And I changed that to December 31, 2016, and I tell you why right after this. But I know that you are already over 200 people today, maybe not 200 active people, but with the incentives, I made a stupid calculation or a simple calculation, let's say it that way. That is that if every one of you doubles himself, that means finds one active team member by November 20, that is in 20 days time or practically, well then you could be 400. And if every 2 weeks, every one of you find one person only one small person in 15 days time, 2 weeks, you reach the 3,200 mark by end of December. So I don't think it is an impossible task to reach 3,200 people. And on the contrary, I think it is a very possible task to reach 3,200. And you'll see why this is so very important. Let me first talk about Sweden. The overall goal for Sweden is to go to 800 active team members, same date, December 31. There are over 40 active people today. So that means that by November 20, here it's not one person, it's 1.2 persons in 15 days, and only for only twice. So if you go 40 plus 50, you get 90. If you get 90 plus 110 between November 20 and December 4, you get 200. And so you can reach the 800 mark by December 31st, 2016 also. So yes, I know, Tony, the point twos are very hard to find. I totally agree with you. So I think it's, again, something that is very, very possible and reminds you that you will have an advantage because from November 15 on, there will be internet advertising, and obviously you will receive all the information about the internet advertising, even in the German countries, because you can show that to people and say, you see, this is working, this is going, this is running, and it runs, and it will go to France and then to Italy and then to the UK and so on and so on. So you can produce more facts to investors, to new team members, and to merchants. And I think this will increase your chances phenomenally to reach this 3,200 or 800,000 mark. So, oh, Ashley, I'm sorry, I didn't see Bjorn's question. I'm so enthused by my own thing. What is Bjorn's question? Just a moment. Can a new MTM holder in his turn sell for 7,500 and receive 200 shares? Absolutely, absolutely, Bjorn. That's for sure. It is every team member that sells for 7,500 within a 30-day period gets the 200 shares. No trouble at all. I'll give you an example of how you can do it, because I can even show you how you can make a president team with only 3 national directors. I'll show you that immediately. Okay? So, yes. Duncan Wood. Keep Sunday. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Duncan. I was going to talk about. Now, why is it important that this goal should be reached by December 31st? And that is it. By January 2017, at the latest, at the very, 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 very latest, maybe January 31st, but the goal is by December 31st, 2016, it will be the worldwide end of networking. And then from then on, we will only work with direct salespeople. So I put you to, for people maybe who didn't understand, what is a network? A network is the creation of a distribution network in depth. That means that you are here, the red little ball, you have 5 people direct under you, and these 5 people, this guy has 2 people direct under him, and this guy has 1 guy direct under him. This one is alone, this one has only 1 person, this has 2, this has 2, this has 1, this has 2. That is a creation of a network. But from January 1st on, normally, ultimately February 1st, we will go only with direct sales. That means that you are here and you will have only 1 line behind you. And this guy who introduces 2 people, well, he will not be able to do that with our system. So you will form a arc of people. This is like a arc, and that's it. No networking anymore. What is the consequence for you? Well, the consequence is that you will earn, okay, with a networking system, you can grow into this system here. You can grow and you can get 20% base income plus 5 plus 10 plus 15 plus 20 plus 25 plus 30. Here, for example, Duncan Wood is now president team. He earns 30% more on his own customers than a normal team member. So that means that you are here until December the 31st, you are able to grow this career plan. Now, look, your income is what? Your income is a base income plus a differential income. What is the base income? Well, if you own a basic license, it's 10%. If you own an MTM premium license, you have 20%. That's 20% that is are here, is 20% here. Oh, sorry, let me change colors. Where is the menu? Here, okay, oops. So here you get 20%, okay? That's the base income, 20%. On top of this 20%, if you have a premium license, you get 5, 10, 15, depending on the rank that you have in our career system. So the differential is 5 to 35% additional, 5 to 35. Who earns the base income? Well, the person that sells. That means in my system here, if this is the person that sells, he earns the base income, and this person earns the differential on this person, depending on his situation in the career plan. Now, if that is a team member and he is a team member, this guy earns nothing because the team member doesn't earn anything. If this guy is a sales director, he earns 15% on this guy. Okay? Why 15%? Well, because a sales director earns 20, a normal team member earns 5. The difference between 20 and 5 is 15, and that is why we call it a differential income. Now, if you are selling yourself, well, you are sales director, you get 20 plus the base income of 20. That's 40%. So the person that sells earns the base income. Now, what will happen with direct sales? Well, if we go back to my drawing, okay, where is my drawing here? Well, that means that this guy that sells gets the base income. He gets the 20% base income. So if you are here and you are a president team, how much do you earn on the work of this direct sales guy? Well, if you look at here, you're a president team, you earn 30%. So that means that for each customer that this direct sales guy brings, he earns 20, you earn 30. Not a bad deal. Okay. So this is why it's so interesting for you between now and December to sell like you can grow into this career plan, the more you will earn on direct sales people from January on. And everywhere in the world that has been said to us, there will be no more networking, not in India, not in Russia. It's finished the world over. We will only work with direct sales people. So do you see your interest to work very hard now so that you can grow into this career plan and become as fast as possible national director, president team, or whatever it is that you want to become? I think it is a huge thing important. So the real question that you have to ask yourself is how much differential income do I want? And create your team now. The more you, the people who are here tonight have an immense advantage to the people who will come to this kind of webinar on December 15. That I can tell you. Okay. So yes, it is possible to go president team via direct sales model, but then that means that you have to create 1 million customers personally. Personally. Either I don't even know whether you can create 1 million people with your sales pitch direct people. That question we didn't ask, but I can tell you that it will still be possible to grow, but it will be so much more difficult. You wouldn't believe how difficult it will be. So that's exactly, Duncan. Networkers don't mess around. 6 months hard work and you have finished. That's exactly it. So thank you, Duncan, for already announcing the thing, because I didn't know the date, so I wrote November last week. November last week is a big meeting. In the morning, we'll do a business information session, invite lots of people, give yourself as a goal, I invite 2 people at least, so that 1/3 of the room is active members, 2/3 of the rooms are guests. In the afternoon, we will train. We will organize also in a registering session at noontime. In the afternoon, we'll do a training. So please stay in touch with Stuart Murray and Duncan Wood. They organize everything. They're phenomenal people. They have, well, they're really immense people. So I can't say it otherwise. Thank you so much for listening to me. I have to go because it's 57, sorry, and I need to be ready for my next presentation. So thank you all. If there are questions, ask them to Duncan Wood and Stuart Murray, who will give them back to me. And I promise that there will be a Q&A session very, very soon. Thank you so much and have a fantastic month, week, day, and future. That's what I hope for everybody. Bye-bye now, and thank you very much.